Hello. By the time of this speech, it has been almost a month from the European Union budgetary talks, which, as you all know, turned out to be successful, thus ensuring the future of the European Union for the next 6 years. I remember that the Estonian government was particularly enthusiastic about the Trans-European Networks project, the Rail Baltica, which would be, in all likelihood, financed by from this new budget. Yet there are many in Europe who do not share this enthusiasm of the political elite. Protests, which have been numerous in many countries during the past few years, continue to do so, coinciding, for instance, coinciding with the budgetary talks. At the beginning of February there was another protest against the Prime Minister of Spain, who had been alleged in corruption. Yet not all of the people who are discontent express this via a protest, and another common method is actually voting with one's feet. And so it would be, so in this speech I would like to talk about a rather paradoxical situation in Portugal, where there's a large number of people who are leaving the country because they cannot find work in the light of the economic crisis, to the former Portuguese colony Mozambique. This is a country which lies at the opposite of Madagascar. Mozambique has been or was a colony of Portugal from the beginning of 16th century, which lasted up to the Mozambican Independence War in 1960, from 1964 to 74. The new independent country, the independence of the new country resulted that the majority of the Portuguese who lived there would flee go back to their motherland. The fact that the country would succumb to a civil war for the next 15 years, with as many as 1 million dead, did not help us all as well. But in the light of the new economic crisis in Europe, the attitude has changed, and it is figured that in the year 2000, between the year 2009 and from the year 2009 and up to the year 2011, the number of Portuguese who came into Mozambique increased 21%. About 19,000 Portuguese has registered themselves in the Portuguese embassy, to which we can add another 23,000 who live in Mozambique but have not registered themselves in the embassy. What is remarkable about the whole situation is the fact that the Portuguese who have come to Mozambique are not just common workers or whatnot, but they also include a rather large number of highly educated specialists, such as doctors, engineers and architects. In addition, there has been an increase of interest by the Portuguese government, Portuguese enterprises. So the Chamber of Commerce that regulates trade relationships between Mozambique and Portugal, this lies in Mozambique, has remarked that the number of companies that have expressed their interest in doing business in Mozambique has risen from 10 to 22 per year. So this is as well a remarkable growth, a remarkable rise in numbers. As a result of all this, the economy of Mozambique is undergoing a new, really a rapid growth. The capital of the country has even been called El Dorado, indicating towards the mythical city of gold, which never existed. So it seems that Mozambique is really benefiting from this change of attitude from the Portuguese. Yet not everyone are happy about the new situation, because yes, in one hand it is true that the foreign investors and the foreign experts that come into country will benefit Mozambique. But in the other hand, we see that the old colonial relations have not disappeared anywhere. And often the case is that if a Portuguese person and a local Mozambican are doing the same job, the Portuguese will be receiving a larger pay. What also should not be forgotten is that Mozambique is still a developing country, and going for a foreigner to start working and living there can be quite a cultural shock, especially that as there is additional bureaucracy for a foreigner if he or she should want to work there. And it is no doubt that the lack of the usual comforts an European has become accustomed to has its own effect. So it is no great surprise that many of the Portuguese that have come into the country soon return to Portugal when they have run out of money and have found no job. Nonetheless, I hope that this situation itself reflects a change in the relationship between, well, Portugal and Mozambique in one hand, but also the way the European countries relate to their former their former colonies. Another example of this would be maybe the recent events between Mali and France, where again France has come to aid its former colony. And so it can be hoped that this is a sign of a more equal and fair relationship between the countries of Europe and their former colonies, wherever they might be. Thank you.